Family health and wellness, healthy lifestyle. There is no shortage of media attention on the pitfalls and benefits associated with lifestyle choices. It can be challenging trying to make sense of all the food and exercise decisions we're faced with. The podcast that follows simplifies the basics of good nutrition and achieving the important balance between the food we eat and exercise.
Hi, I'm Karen Soper, a registered holistic nutritionist and wellness specialist. I've been working in the nutrition field for 7 years, consulting individuals in gaining nutritional health and life balance. I also teach a wellness and nutrition course for Canadian fitness professionals, the Canadian leader in fitness education. Recently, I participated in and I helped organize the Our Time, Our Health Diabetes Prevention Conference hosted by the Chiefs of Ontario. There were two-day conferences that offered a Train the Trainer lecture and a workshop series. This was to inform nurses, health workers, and CHCs how to work towards preventing diabetes, as well as sharing ideas for community health initiatives. For more information on the conference, please refer to www.ourtimeourhealth.org. In this podcast today, I'll be touching upon the basic nutrition in our food, what exactly our bodies need, and why we need it. This topic is going to cover functions and sources of macronutrients, and it's going to identify why micronutrients are important. I'll also be exploring the concept of balancing our daily calories, how we can bring awareness to the families we work with about their daily nutrition versus their daily activities. Both of these are indicators of health. So with these two topics, I want to help you inspire individuals to understand their nutritional needs and look at what they consume, as well as what physical activities they participate in to assist them make informed choices. I believe that educating your community members on the basics of nutrition, specifically like understanding the macro and micronutrients, will allow them to get on the path to make better food decisions. So when it comes to educating on food and supporting people to adopt a healthy diet, let's be clear about the basics of nutrition. If we're clear about what's in healthy food and what is not in junk food, as well as all of the things that are in junk food that we don't want, we can empower people to make better decisions. So now I'd like to briefly go over macro and micronutrients. Macronutrient literally means nutrients we need in large quantities from food to survive. So we have micronutrients, therefore means nutrients we need in small quantities. 3 macronutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The 3 micronutrients are vitamins, minerals, and water. So there's 6 nutrients to think about, 3 macro, 3 micro. Just focusing on carbohydrates today, we'll see 3 critical functions. 1, carbohydrates provide glucose to our brains, liver, heart, kidneys, muscles, and various tissues. And with that glucose, they provide both immediate and time-released energy. 2, carbohydrates help regulate the metabolism of 2 other macronutrients, protein and fat. And that means that the consumption of healthy complex carbohydrates assists the proper usage of dietary protein and fat. 3, complex carbohydrates promote regular elimination of waste via the natural fiber content, which means we take the good stuff from our food and we eliminate the remainder. So a simple way to translate this information is to say that healthy carbohydrates are the fuel for the engine in your body. And without the right fuel, your car won't run. Furthermore, simple carbohydrates without the fiber I mentioned, they're too easily absorbed. They lead to high glycemic load and over time induce insulin resistance, putting us on a path to diabetes. We can find healthy sources of carbohydrates in natural whole foods. The best examples of complex carbohydrates are fruits and vegetables. Fruits like these bananas, pears, plums, and vegetables like this kale, red peppers, beets, carrots. And we can look at whole grains like these oats and whole grain brown bread. Alternative healthy carbohydrates include beans, lentils, quinoa, or barley. All of these examples are considered complex carbohydrates because they have lots of fiber. This is really important teachable. Knowing the difference between healthy and junk carbohydrates by identifying if there's fiber or not could help identify what to eat and what not to eat. An apple has fiber, whereas a glass of apple juice does not. Wild rice and brown rice has fiber, and this white rice does not. So fast food has little to zero fiber, and home cooked with whole foods does. Maybe you could design a taste test for families to try at home. Plan to identify carbohydrate foods with fiber and those without, and use processed food versus whole food to make the point. Grocery lists of whole food versus junk foods could be designed to clarify the issue. Plus, simple recipes on how to cook with whole foods is really helpful. Remind your communities that the junk food sources of carbohydrates, such as potato chips, cakes, chocolate bars, pizza, pop, muffins, and bagels, they're highly processed and they contain very little fiber, if any. So instead, they include artificial additives, preservatives, dyes, and harmful sugars and fats, all of which get stored in adipose tissue, our fat cells. These junk foods end up being used for a quick energy boost, they cause fat storage, and our car runs out of fuel. The three micronutrients are vitamins, minerals, and water. Micronutrients, they're important because the vitamins and the minerals are what we call cofactors in many metabolic functions, keeping our major body systems running optimally. Signs of illness and disease appear over time when piece by piece our bodies are robbed of important micronutrients. And when our food is overprocessed, there are few micronutrients available. But fortunately, we can easily get vitamins and minerals from a natural whole foods diet, including fruits and vegetables, lean meats, nuts and seeds, and healthy fats like from olive oil and avocados. The third micronutrient is water. Getting enough water daily, it's underprioritized by most people. If there's one thing to help families recognize, it is that if water could replace all the liquid junk alternatives, it would have major health benefits. 8 glasses of water a day would help maintain a healthy weight by removing water-soluble toxins from the bloodstream, keeping joints lubricated and flexible, hydrate on a cellular level, and even before meals, water can actually make you feel full, therefore you end up eating less. Please suggest all families make juice drinks 25% juice and 75% water. It's a simple change. Also, try to eliminate pop and sugary milk-based drinks. Focus just on increasing simple water intake. Now, we're going to look into balancing our day. Looking at how to evaluate calories consumed in a day, which is our nutritional intake, versus calories expended in a day via our physical activities. The basic concept here is to encourage the thought process around balancing consumption and exertion. This awareness of balancing our day could literally evoke a renewed self-worth because knowing that every day counts could empower families to make healthy changes. So to address daily consumption, you could teach your communities to tap into their innate knowledge of their traditional practices around nourishment. For example, we know it was a long time ago that we stopped listening to our body's natural hunger signals that tell us when to eat, what to eat, and when to stop. And unfortunately, sedentary lifestyles, computers, long work hours, they've led to a disassociation between real and perceived nutrition requirements. But I think if we look closely at the body's natural hunger signals, it'll help uncover this inner knowledge and awareness. There are 3 types of hunger signals: hunger, fullness, and appetite. Hunger. It's a sensation that makes you want to eat. It feels like your stomach is growling. It's controlled by 4 things: the hypothalamus, your current blood sugar level, how empty your stomach is, and by certain hormone levels in your body. 2, fullness. It's also called satiety. It's a feeling of satisfaction. Nerves in your stomach send signals to the brain that say the stomach is filled. Increased blood sugar and the activity in the brain and the presence of food in the intestines all lead to this feeling of fullness. 3, appetite. It's a desire for food, or it's an interest in food. It's linked with the sight, the smell, or the thought of food. Appetite can actually override hunger and fullness, like when we continue to eat even after we feel full. To further the awareness process and take action, the following 3 habits can teach your communities how to reestablish natural hunger signals. 1, sit down and eat meals slowly. In addition to this huge value of family meals together at the dinner table, sitting down and eating meals slowly over a 20-minute time frame, that'll help allow these hormonal messengers to get to the brain to signal one is full. 2, chew your food fully and avoid rushing and swallowing food whole. This will assist recognizing real fullness too. Learn to enjoy the natural flavor of these foods. And 3, avoid eating under stressful emotional situations. Wait for the environment to calm down. We know that high cortisol inhibits proper digestion and it causes fat storage. So in addition to training the body to recognize natural hunger signals, consider the impact physical activity has on health. Health benefits are enormous. We can't stress that enough. reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease by strengthening the heart, the vascular and respiratory systems, and helping weight management by increasing resting metabolism. Those are just two major benefits. Physical activity also increases muscular strength. It promotes joint stability, improves digestion, decreases fat, adding lean muscle. It gives you more energy and reduces depression and anxiety. However, our traditional landscape for activity is changed, that we know. Typical physical activities today, they include supermarket shopping instead of farmers markets or planting, caring for, and harvesting gardens. Transportation, it's by autos, buses, subways, and trains instead of walking miles to catch wild game. There's little to no hunting occurring now. Electronic gaming instead of outdoor play, and fast food dining instead of prepared meals. So to address improving healthy physical activities, which is really the exertion side of the balance scale, let's look at encouraging traditional activities, or the ones that fit in most naturally. There needs to be more fun time consisting of socializing with family, playing outdoors, and participating in traditional activities. If traditional games aren't appropriate, there's many other options to increase daily physical activity. Housework is physical. Walking pets can be refreshing and energizing. Winter activities like skating and sledding are fun. And structuring community events like, say, Winter and Summer Olympics could encourage high turnout for physical fun and togetherness. It is necessary for you to provide options for both family or group activities and individual activities. This will be key. Encourage questions like, what could I do today to be active? And what can I do to increase my energy output? Health Canada recommends to accumulate 60 minutes of physical activity per day. This means that you could add up several different shorter duration activities that will have a total health benefit. Let's tie this all together now. Back to the balance scale. On one side, we place our daily food choices, and on the other side, we place our physical activities. Practical Measures tells us that we need to be conscious of healthy choices like choosing brown rice over white rice, home cooked over fast food, and whole food versus processed food. In addition, we have to shake off sedentary activities for more beneficial, enlivening activities that get us in motion. Each community will have varying access to healthy food, so you can educate your families on the choices they make with the grocery options available to them. Where fresh is available, choose it. Where only canned vegetables are available, choose it. And rule out the poor nutrition or junk food alternatives. Everyone must start by taking baby steps from where they are to where they want to get to on the path to health and wellness. Hopefully this podcast has helped you revisit that each day is an opportunity for your community members to challenge the balance scale and improve their overall well-being.